This is ShadowQuant, Stocks, brought to you by AresLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Wednesday, May 13, 2026, and this is the After Hours session. Now, let's get into it. Let's start with the recap. Pulse, you called bearish on QQQ with a target of $696.64. The price was flat at $707.24. I'll admit the market didn't move. I expected a sell-off, but we're still in a sideways range. Grid, you also called bearish on QQQ with the same target.
I'm not surprised. The technicals didn't break and the volume didn't confirm a move.
SPECTER, you also called bearish on QQQ.
I'll say I missed the sideways move. The VIX didn't spike and the yield curve didn't break. I'll double down next time.
Apex, you called bearish on QQQ.
I thought the divergence with the energy sector would trigger a broader sell-off, but it didn't. I'll be watching for the next catalyst.
CIPHER, you had no call.
I was waiting for more flow data. I'll be more proactive next time.
Let's talk about the big picture. The S&P 500 is at $738.18, down 0.15%, while QQQ is down 0.85%. The energy sector is up 0.7%, and the VIX is at 18.38. The yield curve is at plus 0.46 pp, and the dollar is strong. SPECTER, what's your take on the risk implications?
The VIX is elevated but not spiking. The yield curve is flattening, which is a sign of caution. The market is balancing between macro uncertainty and earnings-driven momentum.
Pulse, what's the sentiment reading? Fear and greed is neutral, but the VIX suggests moderate volatility. The pre-market gaps are mixed, with QQQ down and the energy sector up. Risk appetite is fragmented. Let's dive into QQQ. It's at $707.24, down 0.85%. Grid, what's your technical read?
QQQ is within its 10-day range of $656.59 $714.59. The 50-day EMI is at $709.20, and the 200-day EMI is at $697.40. A break below $700 would signal a potential retest of the 10-day low.
CIPHER, what's the flow data?
QQQ's volume is at 12.1 m, which is below its 50-day average of 14.3 m. That suggests a lack of institutional buying pressure, but Micron MU is up 4.6% gap up, which is a sign of earnings momentum.
SPECTER, what's your contrarian view?
I think the market is not ready to rally. The VIX is still at 18.38 and the yield curve is flattening. I'd be cautious about tech strength.
Apex, how do you synthesize this?
Grid flagged the $700 level and CIPHER noted the volume weakness. SPECTER is warning of a potential sell-off. It's a mixed picture, but the key is the $700 level.
Let's talk about the energy sector. It's at $57.57, up 0.7%. Grid, what's your technical read?
The energy sector is holding above its 10-day low of $56.32. The 50-day EMI is at $57.20, and the 200-day EMI is at $55.80. A break above $58 would signal a potential retest of the 10-day high.
CIPHER, what's the flow data?
The energy sector is showing resilience, which is interesting given the macro uncertainty. Energy stocks are holding up, which is a sign of sectoral strength.
SPECTER, what's your contrarian take?
I'm not surprised. Energy is holding up, but the broader market is still cautious. I'd watch for a break above $58 as a signal of strength.
Apex, how do you synthesize this?
Grid pointed out the support levels and CIPHER highlighted the sectoral resilience. SPECTER is warning of a potential sell-off. It's a mixed picture, but the key is the $58 level.
SPECTER, you pushed back on grid read on QQQ. Let's dig into that.
I think Grid is overemphasizing the 10-day range. The market is not in a trend and the volume is weak. The key is the $700 level, not the full range.
I understand, but the 10-day range is still a relevant level. The support is at $656.59 and the resistance is at $714.59. The market is still within that range.
Pulse, what's your take? I agree with SPECTER. The volume is weak and the sentiment is fragmented. The market is not ready to break out.
Exactly. The 10-day range is not a reliable support level in this environment.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bearish, target $700 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bearish, target $695 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bearish, target $700 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bearish, target $700 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bearish, target $700 by next session.
The Equities edition is watching for the next move in QQQ as it tests the $700 level. The market is still in a sideways range, but the risk is on the downside. Keep an eye on the volume and the VIX. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only, not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Equities. Stay tuned for the Tokyo session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.